Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the most active kingdoms in the game for September 2024. Now, today, we are going to be touching and showing you the full scope of full status kingdoms, crowded, active, normal, what some of those changes look like, how some of the recent migration movement has impacted that for the 118 kingdoms that are going into Season of Strife KVK, along with comparing what some of the top 25 kingdoms are looking like from when we last took that data pool. So yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. However, we are looking at Kingdoms 1, so it's all the way Season of Strife here. If I go all the way here, Kingdom 1, all the way through 438. And that's because kingdoms do not get an activity status until they finish Season 1 and get into that Season 2 prep / pre-war. So as always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up, because it helps out a lot. Okay, let's go ahead and show you guys off the goods, which is why I imagine many of you human beings are her. Okay. So we did a full scope today. The last time I did a full scope, I think, was on the May, so end of May, almost June. And so here, it's been about 4 months since we last did this one. However, I'm going to kind of go through so you can just see all of the statuses. But one of the reasons I really like doing this is mainly to be used as a historical reference. I like the idea of being able to go back, look at a kingdom, see what their activity status was at a certain point in time, and then be able to figure out on, okay, well, you know, were they transitioning from one season to another? Did they just get a big influx of people coming in? Did a bunch of people leave? Did something crazy or drastic or situational happen in the kingdom that caused a change of status, or anything that's in between or other? And for me, it's nice to be able to refer back to some of the data, because I just think it really helps paint clearer pictures whenever we're trying to figure something out, or maybe even just look and see why a status change happened at a particular junction. And so people have asked me, boss, would you consider making this public? And I am actually thinking about adding this tab onto the top stats sheet on the public facing one for all of you, along with maybe even the migration movement one that we see for the seasons, or for the KVK seasons that I do as well. But at minimum, I'm probably going to end up adding this one. And, I'd love to hear what you guys think about that. Is this something that you think you would utilize? Would you like to access this? What additional pieces of information for this particular data set tab would you like to see? Let me know in the comments below. And so beyond here, it is interesting because there obviously is a lot more kingdoms now than there was when we did the last set in May. And I think we finished that one at around 338. Let's see here. We'll show that one here in a sec. So right here, you see 332 was the last time we did a full set. So there's a lot more, 438. Okay, now let's go ahead and show you guys the goods. So the goods here is where we can see the amount of total kingdoms and their statuses. So there's 42 full kingdoms, 178 crowded, 117 active, and 101 normal. The last time we did a full data pool, there was 14 full. Before that, 23 full, 73 crowded. Yes.
I found it.
Oh, good job. Where was it?
It was in the box.
Oh, okay. Can you go put it back there for me, please?
No, it was really the
Okay.
first time you were using the other ones, but this I think this is
All right, go put it on the counter for me. Then you can tell mommy where you found it when she gets home.
It was in the box.
All right, good job, girls. Thank you. They're so excited. We've been looking for this controller for hours last night I spent, and I couldn't find it, and so the girls just found it. The lady will be happy, in short. Aside from all that, what we end up having here is a major shift. Obviously, there's 140 more kingdoms now that have finished Season 1 and are in pre-war and beyond, or older, we should say. And now we had 23, we're at 14, now we're at 42, so that's plus 28 more full status kingdoms. If you look at crowded, there's 105 more crowded kingdoms. Active, almost double. And I don't know if I ever really pulled any normal stats before. I'm not sure. Maybe I did. Oh, so very early on we did. But there's 101 normal activity status kingdoms now. So if we look at, for example, some of the migration movement that we ended up seeing before, right, that kind of factors into some of that, right? Now, some of the big numbers here, if we look at the top, you'll see like 87, 282, 287, 67, 285, 62, right? These kingdoms ended up seeing a large number of migrants. If we look at 87, for example, you can see they're still crowded, right? So no rule change there. 282 had 206. So if we go to 282, they're still crowded, no change there. 151 for 287, right? Bam, they're still crowded. 67 had 148. So if we scroll up, you can see 67, they're still crowded. 285 was at 138. And again, I'll just show you a couple. We're not going to show off a lot. But it just kind of goes to show you that you can see how if there's an activity status change, like for example, they were active, right, on the 9th of September. So this is a good example. 2 weeks ago, they were active, got a bunch of people in, changed the crowded status, right? And you can see how that change looks based on the amount of people that ended up coming in. So if we look at like top kingdoms, for example, right, this is something that you can also refer to and look at, okay, well, these kingdoms, at least from when we pulled this right at the end of August going into September, you can see the kingdoms there, and then, which ones kind of correlate to, are they a full status, are they a crowded status, right? How has that changed for any of those, right? Like, and for me, it's one of those things where, like, if I saw a kingdom that was number one, I would be curious to see, like, well, how did their status change from one point in time to another? What was it a month ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago? Then what maybe impacted that? Like, some of those storylines, if I had a little bit more time, would almost be really cool to kind of add some of those notes, if you will. Anyways, like editorial note, but I digress. With that in mind, covering all of this for activity statuses, for me, is very intriguing. I love doing it, and I hope you guys enjoy this too as well. I'd love to know what you think about anything that we covered here today in the activity status. Would you like to see, like I said, this tab added to our top stats? Anything else you'd like to see us cover on this one? I think that's probably about it. Like I said, there's not really a lot here as far as activity status goes. It all is pretty straightforward, so it's not something that we really kind of need to make an incredibly long video about, but I thought it would be interesting to at least touch on a number of these things. So with that in mind, that is going to do it for me. As always, we'll catch you next time.